the last class, we have come to a conclusion what database we are going to work with. The database which we are going to work with is MySQL, and the language which we are going to learn is SQL. Okay. Now, this is a database workbench that we will be working with. Okay. Now here we had a help command where you'll be getting the syntax, and here you'll be getting the output, and here we can see the objects, and finally you can write the code here, right? Now this is what we have installed and we have kept it ready. From today, for the next 15 days, we are completely going to work on the practicals, what is required, and how we need to go and create the objects, and how we can load the data. Everything we are going to see step by step. Okay. The first 1 week, what we are going to learn, let me be straightforward, you will never do in the real time. Whatever I'm teaching you from today for the next 1 week, this one, it's a fundamental and basics that we need to know, but we may never use in the real time. Real time, there will be another person who will help this, or we'll be creating based on the client's requirement. Okay. Now, this is actually a database that we need to start working with. Before that, I will simply open an Excel. So as we know that Excel, we are actually using for our data, right? Now, what I'll be doing is, imagine I have to store some information like customer name. Okay. Let's say I'll be storing customer name, then customer age. Let me keep it short so that our words are fitting into the cell. Customer name, customer age, customer location, right? Customer location, and the product which they have purchased, and what is a price for that, or I can make it as sales, right? And customer name, customer age, customer location we have, product we have, product sales we have, and let's say that this is a table data that I want to have it. Okay. Now this is a table. These are all the columns, because it's common for everyone, right? Everyone will have a customer name, everyone will have a age, everyone will have a location, right? So this is actually a common customer phone number. Okay. Now this is a table that we have. Now what I am doing is, the first customer, let's say I'll take it as Kiran, whatever I'm using as an example, right? All are my friends. Okay. So I'll always have some story behind them. So as and then we pass this, we will be, I'll tell you what, small stories about them. Okay. It's an inspiring story. So remember this name Kiran. Somewhere in future class, I'll tell you who is this Kiran and what he has done. Okay. Now, Kiran, age 30, phone number, I'll just keep some number, and let's say I'll keep Bangalore, and he has actually purchased an iPhone, and he has purchased for 79,988 or 79,000. Okay. Now I am having this information with respect to Kiran. Next, same Kiran seems like he's a posh guy. He spends a lot of money on the Amazon. So what he does, same person, same age, same phone number, same location, now goes and buys a Boat headphones, and it's actually a 3.5 thousand. Okay. It's basically a headphones. Next, same Kiran now is actually buying a laptop, which is actually a 95,000. Now, next person, Arjun. Arjun is also one of my friend, 26. He's actually from Pune. He is actually buying some tab, and let's say he's buying for 45,000. Now, the same person now he is actually buying some speaker, and is purchased for 4,000, or let's keep it 2,500. Okay. Now I have this. In this we have Kiran, we have Arjun, right? We have Rahul is again like he's like 35, and his phone number is something different, right? And maybe I'll keep it like this. And he's actually from Chennai, and he's again purchasing a headphones, and this time he has purchased for 2,499 or something like that. Okay. Now I don't know what happened. These two people didn't purchase, or it's a blank. So I'm having a table information like this. The first thing which I will identify from this example is, this is not well organized. You know why? I know it's Kiran. Kiran has purchased 3 products. I know. Why are you storing his information again and again and again and again? Don't you feel like it's a duplication? I know Arjun is also a customer. Why is it again you are storing his information again and again, right? His address will never change, location will never change, phone number is not changing, age is not changing. Is it really required to go and store their information again and again? Now, there is a problem in the designing. This is not a good design. This is not a good design. So the first thing which I'll say is this is actually a table. Okay, it's actually my Amazon table, but I will mark this as I'll mark this as bad design because this is not the one which I'm looking for. Because why? Why are you including multiple times, Kiran? I know that he has purchased multiple products. That doesn't mean that every time you go and tell he's age 30, his phone number is this, he's from this location. Not needed. You're dumping a lot of data into a single table. This is a bad design that I can have as per my details. So what I will do, let's have a good design. Let's have a good design. Okay. So in the good design, what I'll do, the entire table information, let's keep it in very simple. Okay, I will actually take a table information. Okay, so this is my table. This is my first table. Okay, customer name, age, phone number, and location. I will go and copy this customers here. Kiran is my first customer. Arjun is my second customer. Rahul is my third customer. Okay, now this is a table that I have. This is a table I have. Okay, so here, why have you dumped everything into single table? It's very hard for me to go and figure out how many of them are there, how many of them are purchased. It's very hard for me to figure out. So what I have done, I need to always have a betterment to the design. So this entire table information, what I've dumped everything into one table. Now I'm going to put a new design that is a good design. There I'm actually making a customer table. So this is actually a customer table. Now I will call another called sales table. Here what I will do, what they have purchased, product and sales. I'll simply put it here. Okay, I'll simply put it here. And I'll also say who was the customer who purchased. Okay, so for time being, you just observe what I've been doing. There is always an improvement that we can do for every design. So this is a customer name. So who has purchased iPhone? The iPhone was purchased by Kiran. So Kiran is the first three people who have purchased. So Kiran. Okay. So tablet was purchased by Arjun. And speaker was purchased by Rahul. Now how this design looks. This is far better than the previous one. You know why? You have duplicated entire phone number, age, allocation for all the customers. If they are purchasing 100 times you are mentioning phone number. He is not a celebrity to go and give 100 times his phone number so that the person who is seeing, right, he will buy out the phone number. No need. So this is a bad design that I can have. Rather than repeating all his age, phone number and customer, I will simply put it into two tables. One table I'll put it only as a customer data, and another one I'll put it as a sales data. Now here name can be repeated. Of course, there could be multiple Kirans that we will handle it later. But at this point of time, to handle this situation, what I have done is I have entirely divided the table into two tables. One table I'm keeping it as a customer table. One table I'm keeping it as a sales table. Now this is how I'm making it my design easier. So please be informed. This is not the one which we do in the real time. This is a very bad design. Why your name, age, address, phone numbers should be repeated? Not needed. You just give one time, that is more than enough. But the person name can be repeated because he is buying multiple times. Okay, so this is what we are going to design now. Are we good? Yes.
Yes.
Are you with me? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now
Yes.
let's go with a small example. Let's go with a small example. Okay. This is my customer table. Customer table. This is actually a product table. One is a customer table, one is a product table. Let's say one is a sales table. Okay. Now, this is a customer table. We have only customer data. We have all the product information and we have sales information. Okay. All these three are actually stored in the form of a table. Now, what is a table? Table is actually a combination of rows and columns. So it's a table. The one which you're seeing on the screen, it's a table. So for everyone, the common is phone number. It becomes a column. The value which you have becomes your separate row. So your table is nothing but a proper arrangements of data in the form of rows and columns. So here product information, sales information, customer information, I am adding, I'm having in 3 different tables. Okay. Now carefully observe, carefully observe. If you are working for a project, okay, you can have multiple customer table. In Flipkart also customers are customer. In bank also customers are customer. Even if you ask KSR, for KSR also you people are customers. Maybe all the mentors in KSR may call you as a students, but in reality, when you're talking about a business, customer is a customer, right? Now, imagine I am working for 2 projects, one for banking project, one for Amazon project. In both the projects, we have customer data. Their customers will open the account. So you go and sit in the bank, they'll call you as a customer only. You go and order something in Amazon, you will also be called as a customer. So customer is a customer. Okay. The only place where you will never be called as a customer is
Hospital.
Hospital.
very good. Hospitals. Only in hospitals you'll be called as a patients. Rest of the times, whether you are buying an insurance policy, you're still a customer. You're ordering something in Amazon, yes, you're a customer. You have been using a Jio or a Airtel, you go and call them, you raise some request, they'll call as a customer. That is why always it is called customer care. That is why always it is called customer care, right? So we everywhere we go, we call it as a customer. So when you're working in a project, you're working for 2 projects. One is hospital. One is Amazon and one is bank. Both where you are called as a customers only, right? You will mess it up if you are maintaining in the same table, right? If it is maintained in the same table, you will never even know whether this is actually a Amazon's customer or is it a bank customer. You will never know it. For that reason, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to place this entire tables. I'm going to place this entire tables. I'm going to place this entire table into one container. I'm going to place this entire tables into one container, which I will call database. And the name I'll give to this database is Amazon. I'll give the name as Amazon. So in this database, I will go and store only Amazon related information. Here, what can you buy the products? See, let's say Kiran. Kiran is my customer. Kiran is my customer. Okay. Kiran, Arjun. And the products which I'm selling is Samsung phone, headphones, iPhone. Okay. These are sales. Now, the same database, customers will still be present. So what I'll do, I'll create another database. I'll create another database. I'll create another database. In this database also, I may have customer table. In this also, I may have product. In this also, I may have sales. Customer will be present both. Here also, you may find that Kiran, Arjun. Okay. Here the products may be savings account, current account, fixed deposit, recurring deposit. All this, it could be a product in bank. Now this will also have a customers and product, but this time I will call it as a bank, and this I'll put it into one database. I don't want to club everything because I cannot club my Amazon customers with the bank customers. I cannot club with my bank customers with Amazon customers. In order to separate between the different projects, I am going to put them into a one container. We call them as a database. Now, database is a place where we used to store the data, but directly we are not storing in the database. Inside the database, we are creating multiple tables. Each table will contain a specific information. The reason why I'm creating multiple databases, I don't want to club my Amazon with bank. Amazon is retail, bank is a bank. There you have iPhone, Samsung headphone. Here you have products like insurance plans, or it's like a savings account, FD account. You have multiple products here. So 2 different products. Don't club it. Don't club it. In order to have that separation, I am going to create two database. This is a concept of database and table. So database is a high level where it will have a collection of tables. What is table? Collection of records. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With all this, let's go back and start working our first code. Okay. So let's start working our first code. So what I'm going to do, okay. So you will never see anything here. Okay, maybe you may see one or two after installation. Maybe I have, because I have been using this database for almost 5 years now. So you may find many objects. You may not find any object here. You may not find any object. That's completely okay because you have done the installation for the first time. So we will be start working with the code now. The first code that I will write as part of my script is I need to create a database. And you know what? It's very, 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 very difficult to create a database in SQL. It's very difficult. The way you need to write the syntax is create database, and I'll give some name. What is my name? It's an Amazon database. Amazon, I'll suffix with DB. This is how you can create a database. Very difficult line to remember, isn't it? Is a difficult line of code.
It's not difficult.
No, it's not.
No.
In order to create a database, this is the first statement that I will go and write, which is called create database name. Everyone in this world has a name. Everyone, even in your home, your pet also has a name, right? Everyone in this world has a name. Similarly, your database also should have some name. So I am going to give one name to the database, which I will call it as Amazon DB. You may ask, what is a DB? DB stands for database. Usually in the organization, we keep some standard. Okay, how do you identify? See, if it's see, you also have a name, I also have a name. But how do you identify whether you're a student or a mentor? There should be some suffix. Here I'm adding a suffix called DB. DB means it's a database. It's a database. So if I want to create a table, I will give it a TB. TB stands for table. So that's how I identify. Different companies follow different standard, but in my case, I follow a standard called DB for database, TB for table. Okay. Now database is ready. Database is ready. Okay. Now if I run this database, how to run it? Simply select the database, the complete line. For now, you follow my instructions. Later, I'll tell you all the shortcuts. First, you select the database. There is something called the Spark button on the screen here. Just click that. And it says that the create database, it's actually run at 8:28 and it's showing the green signal. That means it has executed without any error. Now, successfully, we were able to create the database. Successfully, we are able to create the database. Okay. Now, database is created. What is created? Database is created. Inside that, we need to create multiple tables now. Okay. Now, there are actually so many database in the screen. If you see here, we have Amazon. These are all the database which I already have. If you see here, most of the things which ends with DB. DB means it's a database. So as I said, I've already worked with multiple projects within KSR. We have so many database that is in picture. Okay, so we are storing your information. We are having a retail business, and we are actually having our own apps. And we have a Walmart. We have worked for a Walmart project. So let's say we have so many database which is in the system. I need to see which database is active now, because only one database can be active. So what I'll do, I'll go and say select database. I'll go and say select database. Now, if I want to run this piece of code, just select this and go and run this. It says that the database which is active now is KSR SQL, and you can also get to know by that bold color, bold letter. Just because it is bold, it is means active. Last night, I was doing some project for KSR. So that is why I was using that database. That is why I was using that database. But currently, I'm not using that database because we are going to work on Amazon project. We are going to work on Amazon project. Now, in order to use this database, first you need to navigate and activate this database. So if I go and create any table now, if I go and create any table, it will directly go and create in this KSR SQL database. It will not go and sit in Amazon database. The reason? KSR SQL is getting selected. So in order to make that active, the next command that I will go and write is, I will go and say use Amazon DB. Now, if I go and run this use Amazon DB, this bold color has been disappeared. Okay, this bold color has been disappeared, and you can see that Amazon DB is been highlighted, or it is actually a bold. That means this database is active. First, I create a database. See, you have created a database. That means there are so many databases in your project. I'm not the only, this is not the only project which I'm working, right? I may be working with n number of projects. First of all, I need to activate the database. In order to activate the database, you have to use a command called use database name. So for every line of code, I'll be writing something called comment. Comment means it is for your understanding. To activate the database. To activate the database. Okay. So this will not execute. This is only for your understanding. Something you start with the hash symbol becomes comment. Sorry, comment is only for your understanding. The system will not understand. Okay, it will simply consider as a blank text. So to activate the database, you have to go and choose Amazon. Use database name is the something which we'll be doing. This third line which we have wrote, select database. Now, actually, this is to check which database is active. Which database is active. So currently, which database is active? If I go and run this, Amazon DB is active. Though it was a KSR SQL initially, now I have run Amazon DB, right? So this select database will now become active database. So any table which I create will directly go and sit in this database now. Okay, all good. Now, this the first line which we have created is to create a new database. To create a new database. Now, all the commands which I'm executing, it's always showing green, 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 green color. The most satisfying color is always to see the green color. When you say green color, it has executed without any error. All good. Okay. Now, if I go and run the line number 1 again, already I've run the line number 1. You can see that create database name. This is actually the history that I'm running. I have run at 8:28. Now I'm running at 8:34 again. Now, if I go and run this, now it will throw error. For the first time, we have got the error, which is a cross mark that is shown in the red color. And it is clearly telling, cannot create database Amazon DB because database already exists. Database already exists. Correct? Now, one thing which you need to remember is, here, this database already exists. This database already exists. Since it is existing, you're not able to recreate with the same name. So one thing which I got to know from this example is you cannot have same name for multiple database. If you want to create another database, you can always go and add any other suffix. Create database 1. Now it will work. Create database DB1 will work. But what it will not work is this one. What this will not work is this one. Okay, same name, you cannot rerun it. Now that's one thing which you need to understand. You cannot have same names for two database. Correct? Okay. Now 3 lines I have done it. Also, I will go and run one more command called show tables. I'll go and run something called show tables. The comment that we will give is it will list all the tables present in the selected columns. Selected database. The selected database is Amazon DB. So in the Amazon DB, whatever the tables are there, you please list it. So it will list all the tables present in the selected database. If I go and run this, it is actually displaying nothing. The reason it is not displaying anything because I don't have any tables created as of now. Just 10 minutes back only, I have created this database. Just 10 minutes back only, I've created this database. So if I've created this database 10 minutes back, where will I have table? Right? I don't have any table. But let me show you any existing database. Imagine I have something called KSR, or I'll show you Walmart DB. Okay. So let's go and use that Walmart DB. So how to activate that database now? Use Walmart DB. So I'm going and using this Walmart DB. Now, once if I use this Walmart DB, that database will become active. And if you go and write a select database, it will clearly show you that this database is active. Now, if I go and write a show tables, you can see all the tables that is present in this database. That means it's already an existing database. That is why you have a lot of tables present. But in my case, just some time back, I have created this Amazon DB. So I will be using Amazon DB. In that case, if I go and write show tables, you will never see any tables because currently I don't have any tables created. Okay, so far we are good. Okay, I'm writing in capital letters because most of you are watching it from your smartphones. Okay, so that's why I wanted to make sure it is bigger. So it is not a case sensitive. Okay, don't think that I have to always write in capitals. No, you can write it in small letters as well. It's all about the commands which you use it. Okay, for example, if you go and write like this, it will still work. Okay, if you go and write like this, it will still work. Will it work?
Yes.
Are you sure? Are you sure? It is still works. As I said, doesn't matter whether you give caps or it's small letter. What is really important is your commands that you are using. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you are writing 9, 10 or 11, all three are same. The what is really important is to make sure that it is understanding. Okay, now example, instead of use, I'm using activate database name. What I told, use means what? To activate the database, right? So I want to make sure that I want to activate it. So if I want to activate the database, I will go and write activate database. It's showing some cross mark. Okay. Now, one thing which you need to understand is why it is always use and why it is not activate, because 50 years back, they've already come up with certain rules and regulations to create a database, to show the list of the database, everything they have predefined. What we are learning is a language. Okay, what we are learning is a language. So language is something you are not introducing. Someone has introduced in the past. Okay, your generation, the past generation, our ancestors, they have introduced. From there, we are actually reusing our language. We are not creating any new words here. So the first thing which you need to remember is your SQL comes with rules and regulations. It comes with a protocol. It comes with a protocol. When I say protocol, it's actually a rules. So you may ask me why it is not activate database, why it is use database. I really don't have an answer because they've already predefined it. If you want to activate a database, you have to use the word called USE. Why it is not activate? We don't have an answer. If you really want to know this answer, I will ask you to do one thing. You do that, you come back and tell me what is the consequence. Then I will go and answer this question. Okay. What you need to do is take your two-wheeler, start riding, go to a signal. Okay. Wherever there is a signal, obviously you will stop because of its red color. So the red signal is there. You stop it. Next to that signal, there will be one traffic police. You just go and ask him one question. Sir, why it is red color? Why it is not brown? Why it is not orange? Why it is not black? Why it is not magenta? Why have you kept only red color for stopping? You had this doubt right from the beginning of your childhood, but you never asked any traffic police. What's the reason? What's the reason?
That
You
is
never
the
asked those questions to any traffic police. Why?
default.
What?
They don't know.
No, you don't know, correct. Why you did not ask traffic police?
They don't know.
So every time, everywhere we see the same red color. How can we
Everywhere it is
answer?
red color, but why red? Why it is not different colors? Have you ever not got this doubt? Why it is not blue color?
Because red color is more visible and attractive. We can see from far away also.
Yeah,
Who said?
It's like a danger color.
a set
We
of
can see blue color
instructions
also.
from, yeah, it's a set of
But
instructions while designing from the traffic act. So,
It's a rule and we are used to follow it.
so while designing itself, they come up with some rules and regulations, right? So that one.
The color comes from Red Cross. Red Cross.
Straightforward answer. Straightforward answer. The traffic police have already decided that red should be for stopping, green should be for moving. Okay, they should have kept green for stopping and red for moving. Why they didn't kept? Because they also have rules and regulations to follow. Now you are the user here. You can never go and question why it is not the other way around. Why it is not activate, why it is used. You don't have rights to question because all this comes under protocols. The one thing which I want to tell you right from the today until we complete the SQL, don't ask me the question why, because everything is a syntax. Everything is a rules and regulations. If you ask me why we don't use the word activate and why we use the word use, I don't have an answer for this because they are already predefined. Right? You have your mother tongue, you speak your mother tongue at your home. There is already a specific words that is defined. For water, you will call this. For food, you will call this. For sleep, you will call this. Are you going to modify this language? Will you have rights to go and modify this language? Already there is a defined, you're reusing it. The same concept, it's a language. You don't have rights to go and change the commands here. Whatever commands has been given, you have to blindly follow. That is why we call it as a rules and regulations, or we also call it protocols. So never question me why. If you question me why, one thing which will always bring to your notice is, you please go and ask traffic police why it's red color first. If he answers, I will also do a research and tell you why these commands are used. Is a deal okay? Is a deal okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, what commands we need to use? It's already decided, or okay, it's already decided what command needs to be used. So please don't ask me why activate is not working. Okay, next. I need to create a table. I need to create a table. So in order to create a table, what I need to do, this is the table features. So I'll copy this. The next thing which I'm to go and create is I have to create a table. So for creating a database, I started with a keyword called create database. Now for creating a table, you have to always start with create table. Everyone in this world has a name. So customer TB. DB means database. TB means table. Okay. So I've created a table. So create table, table name. Now, when I say create table, table name, I need to tell us what are the columns that is also present in the table. Okay, what are the columns that is present in the table? We have, see, once you create a table, you put one bracket and you close one bracket. Now, this is a syntax for create table, but within that bracket, you have to write one thing. Just because it becomes a very clumsy if I write in the same line, I will put it in a different line. Okay, you can write it in the same line as well, so that I mean you are seeing from your smartphone. So I wanted to make sure it is clear. So that is why I'm writing in the next line. What are the columns? First is customer name. Customer name. What is the next column? Customer age. What is the next column? Customer phone number. What is the next column? Customer location. customer location. Now, these are the columns that I need for my table. Now, these are the columns that is required as part of my table. Okay. Now, table is there. Columns is also present. Okay. Now, what type of values I can store in this column, that is really important. You have a multiple glass. In which glass, what water you need to pour, you need to know, right? Maybe one glass, it's actually only for water. It's only for tea or a coffee. So you have a specific container in your kitchen for specific storage. Like we have a sugar box, we have a salt box, we have a chili powder box. So specific box, you are going to store specific items. You will not mix up. You will not mix up, right? So I don't know whether you people know it. If you are if you cook, you will know it better. We cannot keep pickle in which box? You cannot keep pickle in which box?
Plastic box.
Plastic. It
Aluminum
comes in
box,
plastic only, right?
Yeah, aluminum, copper.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's metal basically, aluminum, copper.
Yeah.
They react.
You cannot keep pickle in your
Always in the glass.
Yeah, either you have to keep the pickle in your glass or maybe plastic is fine, but you cannot keep in any steel or aluminum. What will happen? It will turn to poison. This is what I have heard, but I don't know. This is something which I keep hearing from the beginning of my childhood. If you are keeping pickle in a aluminum box or a steel box, it turns to a poison. I don't know. Okay, it will start reacting. It's all about chemical reactions, right? We have studied chemistry, so we know it better. Okay, now what's the best way to store your pickle? It's actually a glass, correct? Now, where do you store water? Your water we will never store in a paper cups. What will happen? Paper cups means it will become wet. We don't use it. So we prefer, again, either a water bottle, or we go with some of your like materials which you can store water, right? You can store it. So each one has a specific container to store. Similarly, here also what I'm doing, I'm going to store what type of value I'm going to enter in this column is important. Age, your age can never be a character. Okay, if I ask your age, you will never say that 31. You cannot say this. Instead, what you say? You'll say 31. Correct? So your age has to be a number. So for all the columns, what I need to tell them what type of values are you going to store. Your age is going to store INT. INT stands for integer. Your phone number. Your phone number, if I ask you phone number, you will never say this 9, 7, 6, 5. You will never say this. You will say in numbers only. So I will go and store phone number as INT. So your SQL is a bit lazy. They always keep shortcuts. So integer, they're keeping INT. Okay. Now comes to name. If I ask your name, you will never say 1, 2, 3. You will say your complete name like Santosh. Correct? It's a character. So here I call something called character. I call something called character. Okay, but here just try to identify that in the character, I'm also telling how many characters I need to give. For example, my name, how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 characters are there. So I can never keep 8. Why? If I keep 8, 8 will work. What about other people? Let's say like we have a big name. Okay, we'll have a Ramesh Pandey. What he will do? You cannot go and fill, right? So always it is important to have some good spacing. I'll keep 20 characters. So any name which is less than 20 characters, I can go and store in the customer name. Okay, now I will talk about location. I'll talk about location. So location also I'll keep something called character, and I'll keep something called 30. So any location which you give, it should be less than 30. After that, the line is filled. This is what is the example. Okay. So you may ask me, Why we need to specify? Again, rules and regulation, you have to follow it. For character, you need to specify how many characters you are going to enter. For integer, I've simply kept int, int, int. Okay. Even after completing the table syntax, I am still seeing there is an error in the line number 19. It's a very basic error that we are getting. In order to separate between one column and other column, you have to write something called comma. You have to write something called comma. In order to separate your age and phone number, you have to write another comma. In order to separate my phone number and location, I have to write another comma. This is all about creating a table. Very simple. Line number 17 to 22. Line number 17 and 22, we are seeing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is actually the syntax to create a table. Very simple. I started with syntax, create table, table name. And in the table, what are the columns I want to store? I want to store customer name, customer age, customer phone number, and customer location. So I created a customer name, customer age, customer phone number, customer location. And I should also tell them that what type of values I'm going to store. So it's basically like an integer or a character. I have decided that. And in order to separate between one column and another column, we can go and create as a comma. Don't go and add a comma here. You will get an error. Why? Basic English common sense. Nothing is there after location. That's the last column. Why you need a comma? Remove it. Remove it. And you can also write it in the one line only. You can write everything in one line. But in order to make it easier for reading purpose, I am actually creating in a multiple lines. Okay, but all together, I will go and select this. I will go and select this and I will go and click the Spark button. I'll go and click the Spark button and automatically that Spark button will go and execute this 19 to 22, 19 to 22, and you can see that the table has been created. The table has been created at 8:55 with a green signal. Now, if I go and write show tables, I should be able to see the table that is created called customer TV. Okay, I'll quickly go and create another table. Just carefully observe. Very easy to create a table. Start with the create table. Table name. I'm going to store my product details. So I'll end up with product TB. TB stands for table. Open bracket, close bracket. Always every SQL statement I have to end with a semicolon. So semicolon I have ended. So between this, I need to go and add the product information. Let's say product name, then product price. Price will be actually in number. So I'll put int, whereas name, I'll put it in character of 20. That's all. So another table is also created. This table stores the information about name and price. But again, it is showing an error because they have added two columns. I should have a comma between that, so it will work. Don't put comma here. Again, I'm saying it will throw you an error because there is nothing after this. Now, if I go and run this, another table is also created. Now, if I go and write a show tables, I should be able to see two tables that has been created. So today what we have done, we started with creating a database. Then we checked which database is active. Then I wanted to use a specific database for my project. I've used use. And in order to see all the tables that is present in a specific database, I will go and write show tables. So this shows an example stating that it need not be a capital or need not be a small letter. It can be anything. It's case insensitive. And to create a table, what I have done, I have actually created a table, table name, column, column data type, column, column data type, column, column data type, column, column data type. There is another separate class for data types. So don't worry if you don't understand what is this character integer. Today, our objective is to create a table. In a separate class, I'll be walking you through what are these data types. Data types are like a containers. What type of values I can store here. With that as an example, we have created two tables. Now, how to see the tables? How to see the tables? Now, all good, right? Now, tables is there. I want to go and see the table. Very simple. Just write select star from table name. Select star from table name. Now this is for viewing the table data. What is a star? I'll tell you. For now, just observe, just think that star means, just think that it is everything. Star means it's everything. So what I'm writing in the line number 30, select everything from table. The actual meaning is select everything from table, but instead of everything, it becomes an English, right? So then what is the purpose of learning SQL? Star means everything. Star means everything. So then don't ask me, can I write like this? Select everything from customer. Can I write like this? It will not work. The reason it will not work is because this is actually a English, but instead of everything, you simply give star. Now, if I write this table, I will be able to see the table details. This table has 4 columns. So I was able to achieve this portion. Customer name, customer age, customer phone number, customer location. I was able to get it. Now, what's the next step? The next step is inserting the data. We have the database ready. We have the customer table ready. We have the product table ready. The next thing is you need to insert the records called Kiran and Arjun. How to insert the records into this table? What is a customer name? What is his age? What is his phone number? What is his location? Is what we will be learning in our next class. So today, first practical class, we have just trying to learn ABCD of SQL. What is that ABCD? How to select a database, how to create a database, how to create a table, how to see the records, everything we have seen as part of the fundamentals. If it was in English, I would have taught you ABCD. If it is in SQL, I am showing you the fundamental basic commands that each and everyone has to know. Okay, are we good?
Yeah. Yes.
Now tell me, is SQL easy?
Well, for
Easy
the
for
most part,
now.
yes.
Is it easy?
Easy now. It's beginning, I guess.
It's beginning. But if you're focusing from the day one, it will be easy. Okay, so please focus, please practice whatever I've done. You can start practicing right away today itself. Create a multiple database, create multiple tables. As and then I've told you in the first 5 minutes only, I've told you, you may not use in this in the real time, but knowing this is always important, right? Nowadays, you work in the office, but have you ever thought about all this grammar, sentence formation, vocabularies? Do we use that? Actually, no, but we know internally, yes. If you speak, yes, it should be in a good standard format. But all this grammar, ABCD and all, we don't even go and remember, right? If I ask you to tell A to Z, you will tell. But if I ask you to tell A to Z in reverse, I'm damn sure that not even a single person in this group can tell A to Z in the reverse order. Your kid can say, but you cannot say. Because it's not important. We are in the advanced level. So what we are doing now, it's a basic. We may not be able to create in the real time. No one is going to give you a from scratch project like this where you'll start creating a tables. But knowing fundamental always gives you a very strong foundation to build your career. Okay, with that, we'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class. Before I stop today's session, it is also last free class of your batch. That is first 5 days we have given for free. Last Thursday we started. So Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. So we started on 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 10th. This 5 days, you were able to understand what is data engineering. Okay. We have seen the roadmap of data engineering. As part of the roadmap, the first subject that we are going to learn will be SQL. And we have also seen the SQL, the installation, the basic understanding of why SQL is important. And finally, we have come to the practicals. Every class will be like this only. Okay, 90% of all the classes, I will never open any PPT. I'll simply open my developer and start developing. I'll be writing the code in front of you, and this is how you need to practice. So with that, we are closing the first 5 free classes. So if you want to be part of this batch, please get registered, reach out to our team. You can go to our website and you can start registering. You can pay from your website itself. If you still want to talk to our team, you can always call to a number. Our time will help you. Okay. Now, I'll tell you another thing about KSR. Okay. If you're thinking KSR is just an institute, okay, just like KSR is an institute like others, you have Edureka, we have Simply Learn, we have XYZ, ABC institutes. Okay. If you're thinking in that way, you are wrong. We are not an institute. KSR Data Vision is a startup. It's a startup. Okay. Let me tell you what we do. Let me tell you what we do. This is a new website that we have actually built. Okay, this is a website that we have built. You know what? The entire website is built by the internal team of KSR. We have not given anyone else. We have come up with our own product. This entire application is built by 2020, 2021 pass out students who are graduates. Whenever you're doing a final year project, we actually do some projects, right? This entire project is implemented by our internal team. Very glad to tell you that we have launched another product, which is called Interview with AI. Interview with AI. So what happens in this interview with AI? You can take the interview with a bot. You can take an interview with a bot. That means during interview, what happens? An opposite person will be a human. You will be a human, right? He will ask a question. Hey, what is this? Have you worked on this? What is SQL? What is the difference between OLAP and OLTP? There is a person who is sitting at the opposite side and he's asking the question. But what we have done, we have developed our own product. We have developed our own product. This is called AI Hub. Okay. And you can just log in and you can take a mock interview. The entire interview will be taken by a robot. It's like a bot. This entire product is KSR's new product that we have launched. That's what I keep
How do
saying
we
that.
get access?
That's what we please wait. Let me complete it and then you can ask all of your questions. This entire product is implemented by the internal people. I was part of it. Many people who are working under KSR are also part of it. Even students' contribution was there. Let me tell you upfront, even students' contribution was there. People who join as a student, we take their help. They help us in building the product. So as and then we are like nowhere considered as an institute. We are actually a startup company where we institute and running this training is only part of our work. We don't say that 100% we are only working only on training, not at all. Only 20% we are taking trainings. That too, why we are taking? Because we know that the challenge that the people who join the companies, they lack their knowledge. They don't know how to work. Keeping that as a mind, we are not all trainers. We are actually working professionals who are helping you to have a good career. So 20% is what I would say it's like a institute. 80% we are like a startup. All the information, whether you want to check, you simply go and explore our website. This is our website. It's a new website. Of course, the one which you're joining from your classes, that could be different. But here, this is a new website that we have built. It's completely built by the working people of KSR. As I said, more than an institute, we are a startup company. We have newly launched Interview with AI. Just click this Interview with AI. It will take you to the URL aiinterviewhub.com. Okay, just go and sign up if you're logging for the first time. It's a very straightforward sign up. It's a very straightforward sign up. You can simply go and sign in, give your email ID, phone number, give your user ID, everything. Sign up. Once you sign up, you can always go and log in. Once you can go and always log in. Mahesh, you're there? Any dummy account you have? I'm already a user, so I'm logging in. Just give me, I forgot my password, so let me log in. See, once you sign in, Okay, you can go and see your dashboard. If you have taken any questions, go to the start interview process. Whichever is your specific subject. Let's say you've all joined for what? You've joined for data engineering, right? Let's say Azure developer, or you can also choose SQL. So SQL is your subject. Just upload your resume and you can rate yourself. Let's say I know SQL 5, PL SQL 4, data modeling 3, ETL tools 3, BI tools 3. And if I go and submit it, I can take the interview. Of course, I need to switch on my video and audio. If I do that, there is an opposite person who will sit other side. He is actually a bot. Based on your resume, based on the rating which you have given, they will ask you a question. It's not a predefined question that we have given to the system. Hey, if this person asks you, ask this question. Everything works on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is basically works on the real time. What is happening in the market? Your questions will depend on your answers. Your next question will depend on your answers. If you say wrong answer, the questions will be different. If you say right answer, they will go even deeper. Something which you have not defined, it is going to learn automatically, and that's where your artificial intelligence comes into picture. The entire application is implemented by our team. Please go explore, start creating your own user ID and profile, start testing where you stand. I mean, not now. Once you complete the course, you can always go in it. So what we will do, we will give this to most of the companies. Most of the companies, what they're doing, they're struggling to schedule the interviews. Right? You would have already known if you have applied for most of the companies, you know it. For talking to HR, it will take 1 day. For resume screening, it will take another day. For a couple of days for scheduling it. By the time they'll come and say position closed. Now we are going to help the team, help all the companies with this product where every company can start using our product. At least the first round can be with a virtual bot interview. Later, your HRs will go and see what it is, and they will see whether to select or not, if really required. Because your answers is getting recorded, your video, audio, everything is getting recorded. So we can go and check this. You know why I'm saying this? It's just not an institute. Okay, it's a startup. Tomorrow, if you're very much interested to contribute, we can do this. Okay, this is a level 1 version. We still have to add a lot of features. Like for example, when you're taking an interview, let's say I'm taking any interview. Let's say I'm taking a SQL interview. Okay, I'll skip this and let's say I'll give all this and let's say I'll go and submit it and I'll go and start MCQ. So this is an MCQ. How do you change Thomas into Michael into the last name column of the user table? Okay, now I don't know the answer. So what I can do, I can immediately go and ask this question in the chat GPT. So navigating between tabs is allowed now. We are going to work on those changes. You cannot navigate to different tabs. So your monitoring will be happening. These are all our future plans. The basic version is ready, but we will start looking into multiple updates. If you're really willing to help us, let's say you learn Python, you learn SQL, if you want to contribute for the multiple questions, if you want to contribute in the logic, we are very open to it because the entire application, we have not hired anyone. Please remember, we have not hired anyone. The complete application is built by data science students of KSR. You have all joined for data engineering. There are a lot of students who joined for data science. They have a lot of students who joined for UI development. For all these people, we have taken the help and we have come with our own product. And as and then you help us, you will be rewarded. Okay, don't want to mention it, whether it is going to be at a money side or a gift side or something which is, but some or the other way, you will be rewarded for the help you do. We have a motto in our life that we take the help only from our KSR people. All this help, that the complete product was implemented by the students. If you also want to contribute, you're always welcome. You can always go and help us. Okay, all these are questions. Once you answer, you will get the score as well. So the score we can go and check in our, once I complete this, I should be able to see my score as well. So all this are the information which I'm giving you. We are more than an institute. You can guide, you can help us, you can contribute, you can do whatever you want. We as a family, we are going to work together. Okay, so with that, this comes to end of our 5-day demo. I don't know how many of you will be part of the next few days continuing it. Wherever you go, please choose a data-driven technology for your future. That is going to be the booming in the IT market. Maybe you may have to go back, research, join the other institutes, check for demo and take a decision. Not everyone will be part of it, but still I'm giving you a hint. Not, I mean, we're not forcing you to join here. If you have like understood what we have taught for the first 5 days, please go and join. If not, all the best, but still choose a data-driven technology. It could be data engineering or a data science or data analytics. That is going to be a future. With that, I'll stop here. If you have any questions, please do ask. Any questions on the app, any questions on the course, any question on the duration, any question on the syllabus? Yeah, so with all that, we'll stop our sessions today and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining and spending your valuable 5 days. Please get registered if you're interested, and our team will take care from there. And tomorrow we'll meet, and from tomorrow, it is going to be a paid class. Okay, thank you all.